Hello and welcome to my hardcore Iron Man guide for old school RuneScape. This is going to be an early game guide for you guys who are starting off your hardcore Iron Man and are looking for some tips to see how you guys can start your hardcore Iron Man. What's the best ways to go about it? What's the most efficient way to go about it? As you guys know, if you are a hardcore Iron Man, you die. If you die, you become a regular Iron Man mode. So, you want to limit you don't want to die. You don't want to die because you're going to lose your status. And a lot of you guys who are watching my video are obviously looking for tips for surviving as a hardcore Airman. And I think there are about three different things in the early game that you guys need to focus on. There's a lot of things that you guys need to focus on, but primarily, these three things are the most important. They will allow you to survive, they will allow you to progress faster, and give you a better way to get over into the game. So, coming in with the number one spot, obviously, you need food. As a hardcore Iron Man, you're going to be going through a lot of dangerous situations, and if you don't have the proper food to do it, then you're just going to die, because there's a lot of creatures in this game when you start off with 10 health that you'll just get one hit. So, what are some good areas that you could get some food that will heal high enough so you don't really have to worry about death? Well, there are a couple spots, shops in particular, that you can buy food from, and you won't have to really worry about your health. One spot in particular is the Drainer Market. If you go to the Drainer Market, there is someone that sells wine. And for those of you that don't know, wine heals 11 health points per one sip of wine. So it's not that bad of a food source, and it's only worth one gold piece from the store. So that means that as soon as you come off of Tutorial Island, you get 25 gold pieces in the bank. You could go there and just buy 25 and you got a good food source. Another place that you guys can go to is the Brimhaven Food Shop. For those of you that don't know, this place actually sells high-level cooked food. While not in a great supply, you can always hop worlds and you can find as much as you need. They're a little bit more expensive than wine, but they are definitely a good food source if you're not looking for that negative of attack from the wine. So definitely take a look at it. Definitely come over here if you need some really good healing food. The swordfish in particular are really good. Another place that you guys can look for is definitely probably the easiest way to get food, and that's to thieve cakes. Coming in at 4 HP per bite or 12 HP for the whole cake, it's definitely the best food that you can get in the early game because, for one, you're not going to have a lot of health points in the beginning. So, cakes may be your best option, but the other options are definitely good if you need high health healing food if you're going to go through a dangerous area. And there are a lot of dangerous areas in this game. You guys know that, eventually you're going to be fighting off some high level monsters like you see me on a non-hardcore Iron Man count killing boss giants. They're going to hit you for health. So you need to have the proper food that you can heal with. If you don't have the proper food, then what are you going to do? You're just going to die and you're going to lose your hardcore status. And that's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to stay alive as a hardcore as long as possible. So food is definitely the primary focus of the early game. Having the proper food so that you guys can get through the proper situations is definitely the way to go through the game. So, what's another area that you guys might need to focus on? Money. You guys need to focus on money. Money in the early game is possibly the most important part of this game because although there isn't a grand exchange, money is very important for all the shop stocks. You need money to buy stuff. You need money to buy the food in the section before. You need money to buy runes. You need money to buy staffs. You need money so that you can continue through the game and continue to progress. There are so many things in this game right now that require you to have money. So the only ways to get it are to have solid money making techniques. But in the early game, you don't really have that. So what are some things that you can do to get money? The first and the easiest way to get money in the early game is to start off with that grand 10k for the Stronghold of Security. The money will easily satisfy your needs for being able to buy runes, staffs, bows, arrows, anything that you need in the early game to get your stats up and to get ready for other things. And if you guys are worried about not being able to survive, definitely go to the Drainer Market and making sure that you buy some wines. Maybe get your health up a little bit too. So that's a very important part. Another way that you could do it is rushing quests. One quest in particular, Death of the Doggershid, is one of the best quests to rush because you can rush storerooms. And you can see on my video right now, You see how much jewelry that I get, and I can sell that to the Port Sarim jewelry shop for a decent amount of money. And generally, I make about 15 to 20k in about 5 minutes. It's not that hard to do, and you guys should definitely look at trying to get that quest. And the quest is definitely the best quest that you could do in the early game. It's what will let you transfer from the early game to the mid game, in my opinion. And you guys can see exactly how much I made from the storerooms. It's a lot of money. You know, obviously it's not as much money when you sell it to the stores, high alkit, low alkit, or whatever you're going to do with it, but it's definitely a lot of money, and it's definitely way more money than you'll ever get in the Stronghold of Security, or from Fletching, or from anything else. So definitely take a look at trying to do that quest. That's a very good early game quest to do, and you guys should definitely look at it. So what's the final thing that I think is the most important thing for Hardcore Iron Man? I'm sure you guys have guessed what I'm going to say. Quests. Quests are the best thing that you have to do in the game. The early game is especially important to do quests for. Quests are the biggest part of the game. They give you the most experience drops in the early game. They allow you to bump your skills up from 1 to 20 to higher. I got my attack all the way from 1 to 41 purely through using quests that gave attack experience. That is how useful quests are. You don't have to grind all the way up to 40 attack on some monster. Well, yes, you can do that with some monster and get some gold from it. It's not as good as my before methods. It's not as good as the storeroom methods. So there's definitely a lot of things. So what's a quest that you guys should probably start off with? Well, you can start off with the Witch's Potion. This gives you 6,325 hit points experience and drives you up to 24 health points. And there's a pretty easy way to safe spot it too. So don't think that there isn't a way to safe spot the first two forbs. There is a way, and I suggest that you look up how to do it because it is a fairly easy method. You can see how I'm doing it right now. And that's how I got my levels up right away. You could do it with Windstrike. Just go to the Stronghold, get your 10k, and get it done. I also did a bunch of other quests once I was able to do that. I could do Tree Gnome's village quest right afterwards because I was able to do that. The 24 health points is really great. You can also have friends help you like how I'm doing it now. You know, you just have to have someone in front of the guard. You can't go through the guard. Go around your friends, because otherwise if you go through your friend, the guard can go through them too. So make sure that you remember that before you try to do that. I actually almost died, as you're going to see in this clip here, because one guy decided to go in front of the guard, and that almost ended in me losing my life. So that is one quest that you guys could do. There's a bunch of quests that you guys can do, and you guys need to look at them because quests are the most important thing in the world. Uh, the Fight Arena quest, for example, which I'm doing right now, that starts you off with thieving. You know, if you guys are like, well, I don't want to thieve men till like 20 or 15 thieving until I can do the ham members for Death of the Dogreshind. Okay, so go over to the fight arena, finish the quest, which is like a 5-minute quest. You can safe spot everything. It's not that hard. And then you can just finish it and you get like, what is it? 2,000 thieving experience? And you get all the way up to level 16. That means that you can go over and start doing Death of the Dogreshind because you got 16 thieving. Also make sure that you get your agility up because that's fairly important. The Waterfall quest is obviously the best quest that you can do for strength experience. It starts you off really easily, so definitely do that. And then there's a lot of other quests that you guys can do that you're going to see that through my compilation of quests I've been doing on my Hardcore Iron Man. You guys should definitely look into them because you guys might not think, okay, well, I can just grind the skills. Well, that's not what you should be doing. Because if you think about it, quests don't just give you experience rewards, they unlock things. And unlocking things is the most important thing for you guys because if you want to do monkfish later on, well, you got to do a quest for that. If you want to do things faster, you need to do a quest for that. If you want to do fly fishing faster but don't want to go to Barbarian Village, well, then you need to do Shiloh Village. And to do that, you need to do Jungle Potion. You need to do the Taiboana Trio. You got to do a lot of different quests. And it's very important that you guys do the quests because without the quests, you won't be able to do much. So, what I'm trying to say is that make sure that you guys are finishing quests. Make sure that you guys are doing them because when you unlock things, you're a lot stronger. And as a hardcore Iron Man, this is a guide for you in the beginning of the game. If you guys want to have a very strong, solid start, then get to the quest areas and complete them. It's not hard to do many of them. And some of them definitely do have their difficulties. You'll have a lot easier of a time planning for them when you do earlier quests. So, that's kind of my guide for you guys right now. I know that there's a lot more that I could say for the early game, but these top 3 guides will definitely set you on your way towards success with Hardcore Iron Man mode. Thank you guys for watching my video. Obviously, my tips are not the best tips. You guys might have a better way of doing it. If you guys do, then feel free to post it in the comments below. Let other people see it. And I hope for those of you that are watching my video and are starting your hardcore Iron Man, I hope you guys take the tips that I have provided in this video, and I hope you guys use it to make yourself better. I think that they'll make yourself better. Having the proper amount of food is definitely necessary for doing quests like I'm doing. Or, having the amount of money so they can afford the runes to do the quests are also important. So definitely take a look at my tips, proceed with your Iron Man, and good luck. Thank you guys for watching my video, and have a good day.